Okay. When I saw this, I knew I had to watch it with you guys. This is titled Players Rebel Against Developers Blackout Eve Online. Somebody told me a little something about this in my Twitch chat yesterday, and then Obsidian Ant made a video about it. Is apparently Eve is selling spaceships like Star Citizen, but you can lose them? So, yeah.
Players are turning against the EVE Online developers, but players are entitled, right? Well, that will depend on who you ask and how you look at it. Of course, being entitled can also go both ways. Sometimes games developers are also entitled, and on the few occasions that does happen, it's usually because developers are taking their community for granted. Take for example the current situation with EVE Online, where a segment of the player base are especially unhappy with developers' CCP. The discontent surrounds a new product that CCP have started selling for EVE Online, which just so happens to contain a fully fitted ship.
A prospector? Did they steal this name from Star Citizen, guys? They certainly stole this idea. Okay, so $20. The prospector pack is everything you need to jump straight into mining as a new player. Get 30 days of Omega time, a fully fitted... I'm kind of trying to read. Mining barge, the skills to fly it, even 100 plex to spend in the NES or sell for ISK. Okay. So instead, I mean, listen, guys, don't they sell... they sell money in the game, right? And this is a problem with Star Citizen as well. Is what is the money in game value? That's what Plex is, right? So Plex is money. If this all adds up to 20 pounds, adds up to the amount of Plex to get all these things. It's cutting out the middleman, the players who actually build ships. That's messed up. See, that's where Star Citizen and EVE Online don't coincide at all, right? Because nobody builds ships in Star Citizen. They may never. We don't know anything because, you know, we don't know what Star Citizen is. Nobody does. If players actually build ships in game and you are buying ships from people in game and you're allowing somebody to skip that, man, that's messed up. Okay? That's actually kind of messed up. Because now the game developer is taking the game play away from people. What the heck? I would boycott too.
So yes, any brand new player can instantly get into mining for the low price of $19.99. To be perfectly clear though, and perfectly fair here, this isn't the first time that CCP have done this. They have sold other ships in the past. They've also sold skill points. Players then have finally had enough of all this and are starting to protest. A quick look over on Twitch and you can see the percentage of people involved.
Obsidian, dark mode please. Okay? Why are we watching Twitch in light mode, sir? We can't do that. No. Can't do it. Also, it is kind of sad how few people are playing EVE on Twitch for how popular of a game it is, right?
Involved in this protest. Yeah, that's certainly not an insignificant percentage. Here then is a closer look at that message. It says, warning, this video game will attempt to monetize your gameplay. You do not need to swipe a credit card to buy a spaceship. Learn more at the following website, eveblackout.com. And the website lists the concerns that the players are actually having right now. If you want to read the full message, you can find a link in the video description below, but let's read that first paragraph just to get a broad overview. For the past few years, CCP Games has systematically dismantled key mechanics relating to EVE Online's economy. Basic ships for basic combat have become more expensive and require more materials to build. With the scarcity, these materials have become harder to procure, and though scarcity's end came at the end of 2021, things are still scarce and the economy has yet to rebuild itself. But fear not, CCP in their infinite wisdom has decided that the way to solve the developmental challenges that face them is simple. They just give us spaceships for a fee.
I think they just wanted to get on the, like, listen, man, Star Citizen made a lot of money, dude. A lot of money. Maybe they are trying to kind of go that route, you know? It's... Wouldn't you? I don't know, man. It's like I feel like CIG just picks up just like money on the ground, like it's so easy.
The general concept here then, the general overall broad concern is twofold. Firstly,
that is a cool location.
There's a slippery slope in operation here. It's not a slippery slope fallacy, it is actually a slippery slope, at least it seems to be that way. Basically, these packages have become increasingly effective over time in terms of allowing players to bypass certain content. There's a very real and understandable fear that at some point in the future, CCP will allow for the purchase of battleships and maybe even the highly prized Titans. Now, keep
Yo, that's okay. I think we're like kind of missing the point here. Is paying to skip content is absolutely pay to win. Paying to skip content that you would normally be purchasing from a player in the game is like 1,000 times like this is literally worse than Star Citizen. When you had to buy the items from people in game from the player run economy and now you're bypassing that is actually worse than Star Citizen. Star Citizen is terrible. Okay? One of the most like horrible situations is the main thing that you like the main upgrade path that exists in Star Citizen today is through ships. You could skip that by swiping your credit card, right? That's bad. You're skipping the same upgrade path here, and then there's like a skill system too on top of that, but you're skipping that upgrade path here. But the problem is that upgrade path was provided to you by a player playing your game. That is horrible, dude. Holy crap.
in mind, such ships take many months and, in the case of Titans, years to earn and achieve the skills to unlock. That would likely make them very, very expensive, and it could really lead to the question of just how much money would players of a space game be willing to pay to get such a ship. Well, you need to look no further than Star Citizen to get that question answered. Basically, players are willing to pay thousands upon thousands of dollars for internet spaceships, and likely the most famous internet spaceship game out there is indeed EVE Online. Basically then, are CCP on the scent of the trail of money? Well, as the developers as a studio are now fully owned by Pearl Abyss, another studio and publisher that are very much into heavy monetization, well, it seems a distinct possibility, doesn't it? So that's the first concern that the players involved in the protest have. The second concern is the, as mentioned, the dismantling of gameplay. For nearly 20 years now, EVE Online has been the epitome of player-run economies.
Yes!
Essentially, everything that is achievable in-game, from whether you're playing a single individual bullet all the way up to the massive Titans, all of this is crafted by the players. It requires intensive work, it requires planning, and it requires massive organisation. Now, when you place such an economy in a cutthroat galaxy where players are very much against other players, then you are open to a realm of infinite possibilities, a very, very challenging game, and one which has created stories of intrigue and conflict, stories which many of us have heard about, no doubt. The risk then is that this very core feature, this prime identity of what EVE Online is all about, is very much at the possibility of being undermined by the developers themselves, no less. At least that is a concern of a not insignificant section of the player base who are now, as I say, protesting, specifically content creators who are running these Blackout series. Essentially, anyone who wants to get involved is running the Blackout video, the warning message, basically letting people know, making everyone aware of what is going on. So these are taking the form of a static live stream over on Twitch, where this message is being broadcast for many hours at a time. And a funny side note here, the developers themselves unintentionally started broadcasting the message on their very own Twitch channel, and this thanks to the fact they auto-host other Twitch streamers. Basically, if one of those streamers was involved in a protest and started broadcasting this message, CCP's Twitch channel picked that up and started broadcasting it.
I love it!
Since then,
That's so
CCP
funny.
have switched the auto-host feature off. Now,
Ah,
as yet,
of course
there's no
they
official
did.
word from the developers on how they feel about this. If anything, you know, maybe there never will be. Maybe they'll try and keep quiet. But this is a pretty loud message. The player base kicking up a fair bit of stink here and making quite a loud impact with what they have to say. In short, what we have here is silence from the content streamers faced with silence from the developers. So essentially, it's very much a contest of who's going to hold their silence the longest. Let's see how that one goes. That then brings us to an end of this video. as always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and girls next time.
Like, dude, come on. Do not. I want Star Citizen and EVE Online and every game developer who works way too hard and probably, like in many cases, do not make the money that they probably deserve for the amount of work they put in. I'm not saying that's what's happening with either of these games. Maybe these companies are making like money hands over fist. But I want them to make as much money as possible, okay? There's no denying that. But you can't do it at the cost and the detriment of the product that you're trying to make great. Like, games are turning into just money printing machines and not wonderful experiences for the players anymore. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. CCP did reply in writing. They will unpartner participants who broadcasted that on Twitch. Good. What does being partnered with CCP do anyway? If they're literally going to steal the gameplay away from people, like that's terrible. That's actually terrible. Star Citizen will have this problem too. The gameplay isn't there yet to ruin. They already ruined it because they put ships in game that you could purchase and they gave you no upgrade path to do it, right? Because your upgrade path is on the website. They already did. They already did ruin it. And now they're trying to replace it with other aspects like reputation and things like that, which I think are a good thing. Now that we are where we are and there's nothing we can do about ship progression, right? There is no, it's already dead. Ship progression died many, many years ago. Probably by 2014, ship progression was dead, right? And, you know, I'm not going to harp on that much more because it is what it is. And I think they're making efforts in the right direction to avoid that. Star Citizen is not a player-run economy also. I hope we have some parts of the economy where we are the ones who interact with it and not, like, I don't want to constantly have the NPC or the Star Citizen owned or the simulated economy being the middleman between us all the time. I think that would be quite boring, to be honest. And I would like to be definitely player influenced, but I would like there to be player influenced economies where, hey, I'm going out there and I'm gathering a bunch of fuel for your operations, or I'm gathering a bunch of minerals for your ship repairs, or I'm gathering a bunch of ammo and things like, or creating ammo for you, right? Things like that, where we can interact individually with each other. But man, who would have thought somebody would do it worse than SC? Holy crap. You know? That is, that's tough. That's tough. But I don't like the way CCP is reacting either, because your player base is clearly upset, and I think they should see why. You know, if CCP wants to sell out, they should just sell the fucking company. That's how I look at it. Sell the company if you want to sell out and collect a paycheck. Because for that game, the only people who play it are passionate because of the way the game is. Because of the way the game is, right? They already sold the company? Oh, so then whoever they sold it to is doing this. Understood. Yeah, well, RIP. Thanks for Obsidian Ant, and thanks for chat for kind of enlightening me on the situation a bit more. I appreciate it. Yeah, game over, I guess, for that one.